And we are live.
Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? Welcome to Comedy Cellar Nightly. It's a nightly show except on the Sabbath, my Sabbath, not Noam's. Where we come here every night and we shoot the shit with Comedy Cellar comedians, and we're back tonight. Of course, we have Noam, we have Mike's here, Jay McBride's here, Emma's here. This is the next generation of killers right here. I'm the old fart that's kind of keeping it all together. I'm on my last legs. I'm growing a beard and I'm learning how to fucking.
By the way, the beard's not helping that.
The beard, I know the beard, but here's the problem. Every middle-aged woman on the internet's like, I love the gray beard, keep it. And I have so much low self-esteem. I'm just like, do you? And my wife doesn't like me enough to be honest. I'm like, do you like the beard? She's like, yeah. I'm like, do you want me to keep it? I don't care. Could you show some interest?
How much is it going to grow out? Is this the full grown? Is this the full development?
I think I can't grow it out any further because I'll move to New Hampshire and just start making wood cabinets if that happens.
Okay, fair.
Is that no, okay, Emma? You tell me. You're young. Tell me. Do you hate it?
I don't mind it, but I'm going to be totally. I feel like I know I didn't notice it at first. It's not very grown in.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's right there. Look.
Is that supposed to be like an offensive thing? If a man can't grow a beard, is that like considered like a sign of manliness? I don't want to emasculate.
If you're a millennial, yes, it offends people. But if you're my age, no, who gives a fuck?
It looks like you just haven't shaved in a couple days.
Bobby, could you grow a better one when you were younger?
No, I could never connect. I could do a fucking sick goatee.
Don't do a mustache, whatever you do. Dude. Don't do a mustache.
I could become Puerto Rican in 3 days. Yeah, I can go from Irish, Italian, full-fledged Puerto Rican from the Chingalings in 3 days. And then if I got heavy, I could just go full-blown Mexican.
Just cholo.
Yeah, cholo. But
Hey, did you ever have to do like I know you played Hispanic, Latino people. Have you ever had to do like an accent or force an accent in any of those roles, or did you not bother?
Well, no, I have. One of the biggest roles I ever got was with The Job, Dennis Leary. I had to play Luis. And
did you get pushback from that? I feel like if you did that now, that would be like a big thing.
Well, I remember when I was in LA, I went out for a lot of Spanish roles, and I remember being in the room with all Spanish actors. Right. And I had to run out and, not to be politically correct, but I asked the dude cutting the bushes, how do you say this? Because how do
I say Jose? Hey, Jose, how do I say Jose?
So I had to literally learn Spanish. So I remember being in the room and everybody's kind of, when you audition, everybody's sitting there mumbling their lines, trying to get confidence because you're going to go in the room and they call your name. And I remember they were calling Jose, Manuel, and all of a sudden they're like, I wrote Robert Patrick Kelly. They were Robert Patrick Kelly, and everybody looked over like, what? I was like, hey.
I auditioned for parts that aren't. I auditioned for a part of it was Asian Thug, and I felt kind of weird about it, but they were like, they don't know what they're looking for, so they opened it up. But I've auditioned for things that were clearly written for someone like a person of color.
Dave, hey Estee.
Hi, Robert.
How you doing?
Oh, that's Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Estee. How are you?
Jay.
Good to see
you.
Hey, Estee. Nice to see you.
She just called you me, Mike.
What?
Each other.
It's good to see you.
We were just talking about auditioning and stuff like that. I remember the one most embarrassing audition type of stereotype thing I've seen is when this big woman, she came in. And you have to go through the sides and find your character. And it just said fat chick.
How big was she?
She held it up and she's like, they can't give her a fucking name. You can't just call her Kathy.
Right.
She was so offended. I was like, and they don't do that anymore. They don't just write fat lady.
Right.
They have to call her, chubby Kathy or whatever.
Big girl. How big was she?
Body positive, Ellen.
Yeah,
she was about as big as me.
My friend auditioned for a part of fat girl eating cake, and then they said she wasn't fat enough, and then she said, well, look, no one eats cake like I do, and then she got the part. But she wasn't big enough. They're like, and she's not fat enough, and then she said no one eats. She's curvy, but she's not like fat.
I've actually hit my bottom this year acting wise, because it's probably coming out next year. I will be you'll see a movie and you'll be like, oh, that's Santa Claus. I think I know him. And it's me. So
Oh yeah, Santa.
I played Santa this past year in a movie. So yeah,
That's
And
awesome.
and this is the worst part. When I showed up with the suit, didn't fit.
It was too big, right? It was too big, Robert.
It was too small. And I knew
It was
I
too
knew what to
big.
do. I go, just cut the back of the shirt. They'll never see it.
Was it a mall Santa?
No, it was the Santa. It was I played the real Santa, and I guess he's from Charlestown, Massachusetts, because I still had my fucking dumb accent.
That's awesome.
Just get Emma. Just how do you get that look? What is that?
I know. Before she answers, no, I know.
My haircut.
No, the look, the
Back-
bow.
Yeah.
I'm going to
The-
tell you what it's called.
Please.
Bokeh. It's called bokeh in the industry because I have to come up with a new side job because comedy's dead. So now I know that's called bokeh, and you have to be chosen by the Illuminati and the gay mafia to get bokeh. You can't be a regular like me. I'm not successful. She's successful. You can have bokeh. We can't.
This is the first I heard of that.
That's true.
But that's nice. Is that what? I thought that was Jesus's like the. I didn't see. That's okay. Star Trek.
What is no? That's the.
I thought it was the Last Supper for a second behind Noam. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
So what this is it's an app called X Split Screen. I know a gamer who I saw him playing it, and then he did it for me. But every time I Zoom call with someone, they're always interested in how I do it. It just blurs the background behind you, so that it makes you stand out. I like what you guys have.
How do you install it in Zoom or on your Mac?
You put it on the computer. I got a Windows. So I got a Windows desktop, and then I put it in that, and then I have a different camera besides my little webcam, and then you put it on the computer, and then anything I use this camera for, it blurs the background. But it's I just like I can send you guys a link to it.
What's it called again?
It's X Split Screen.
X
And
split.
It's a gaming because I didn't know about. I've never been a gamer, but gamers are like really ahead of other people for live streaming. X Split VCam, I guess, and there's another thing called Streamlab OBS. A lot of gamers use.
It's so funny you bring that up because I was looking to use one of my cameras, my better cameras, to start doing videos with. All the hardware for video chatting, is gone. You can't get it. You can't find a webcam. You can't.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Yep, I had the
mics are
same
gone,
thing.
Cables. Yeah, it's crazy. I tried to buy one of those, the Moju thing, the one that you can plug your microphone.
Whoa. Don't relax.
Mojo?
I think it's called the Moju.
I mean, I'm sorry.
So I had to like I had to go to a Staples and get cables to go through my Zoom to record better. But yeah, Emma, that one looks good because most of the
Thank you.
backgrounds, most of the desktop background like things that you end up becoming part of the picture, that one actually looks very cool.
This is like,
Gamers are good at like hiding their mother's basement from the world.
this is a book I wrote on how to cheat on your girl and get away with it with Joe DeRosa and Bill Burr. If we wrote this today, we're already finished, two of us, but Bill would, so that's right there. That's a book.
I'm in that book.
You're in this book. You're the greatest cheat story of all.
How do you cheat? What do you do?
Well, there's a lot of stuff. Noam, what we did is we had a bunch of comics write and people we knew that write their cheat stories. And Noam's cheat story is fucking epic.
I'm not gonna tell it now because I don't tell it that well. I'm under pressure, but
he got caught cheating he cheated on September 11th, but he didn't know. Of course, he didn't know the buildings were gonna fucking collapse. But
Big crash. Like,
that day to cheat.
I'm off the hook.
And he wasn't
trapped in another city.
Oh
because
God.
It was in Washington.
when the buildings fell, the first thing people do is, where are the people you love?
Right.
Yeah.
He was in DC.
Oh God.
One
That's
of the greatest.
Marriage by 9/11.
And that was written, Bobby. That was written before a lot of the social media stuff that we have now, too, huh?
Oh, we'd be fucking done right now.
I know.
I mean, even back then, like 10 years ago, we were trying to promote it and we didn't realize what we wrote. So we're on like fucking CNN or whatever shows they put us. And the female host would be like, so what's this book about? And we'd be like, yeah, he cheat on you. How to get away with, how to bang hookers. What? Which is anything we said. What? But it's actually, the book is good for women.
Right, to
because it
detect.
Exactly.
To know what to look out for. Yeah.
That's the way we spun it. Exactly.
Oh, that's a great spin, actually. You could rebrand it as a whole thing, like How to Catch Your Man from 3 guys who really care, and then have a picture of you guys and be like, wait, I don't know about that.
That's fucking great. And Jay, where are you, Jay?
Still in Brooklyn.
You're in Brooklyn right now. Are you with anybody?
No, I have a roommate. Yeah. So we're testing each other.
That's where you really that's where you really find out if you can get along with your roommate during this shit, right?
100%. Yeah, she's in the other room on another podcast, so we'll see.
Is it a performer?
What's that?
Are they a performer?
They are. They're an actor and singer. So yeah. No, I mean, actually, very lucky. But I mean, I have it much easier than she has it. I know I'm a worst roommate. I'm the worst. I know that. Like I spend, I don't know. I don't want to get into my bowel movements, but they're epic. And she puts up with it. So, nice. Let's just leave it at, I could go on, but.
I believe you.
Nice.
No, I don't know if Noam is frozen or fucking bored. You never know with his fucking face. I think he's frozen.
The way my screen is set up is he's just staring at Jay, disappointed right now. He's just looking right up at her.
That's me too. Because I was just noticing this, that when we start to talk, everybody looks where your person is.
Yeah, we're like
you were literally looking right at Jay, Emma. And I was like, fucking, that's weird.
Hey, Mike, how is Lisa doing?
She's doing okay. She's at the hospital right now working. She's doing 2 16-hour shifts back to back in the ICU with the COVID patients. And then she goes back to doing her day job on Friday. And so she's basically splitting her time, doing like 2 to 3 days a week, just completely dedicated to the ICU, which is still very busy. They're at their capacity right now with ventilators and all that. And, but she's amazing. I'm like really blown away by how tough she is. I boo her when she comes home just to keep her honest, but, it's, I'm proud of her, and I do my best. I have a lunch, made for her when she's ready to go. And I put a little note in it, and, I follow her around with Lysol and holy water. And it's scary. I'm nervous for her.
It is.
It'd be funny if you ripped all her masks. Okay, there you go.
She really is in the front line. Yeah, it's they basically, she's in like a space suit. She wears the N95 mask and then a mask over that, and then protective eyewear, and then like a welder's helmet with the shield and double gloves, the whole space suit. And then like a hairnet.
She's not cheating on you?
I think that's chapter 8 in your book. Is
she's role play.
Does she have all the supplies she needs? Is the hospital like stocked up?
Currently they're okay because we're in Southern Connecticut, and companies down here donated tons and tons of stuff that they didn't need. Like manufacturers that shut down donated masks and gloves, and someone makes the face shields, like somewhere near Sikorsky, I believe. So yeah, they're all right now. But she's it's pretty real. And it's cool. It's like I'm getting it's weird because I avoid the news like at all costs, and then she comes home and I'm getting like the worst of the worst stories. And it's like, definitely has got nothing to do with how old anybody is or, pre-existing, none of that. So I don't know. It's rough. I just want her to be okay, and all the other nurses.
Is it a small or a big hospital?
It's big. It's part of the Hartford Hospital. It's a big hospital, but they're turning other floors into intensive care unit floors. So I think like that's the problem, is like they're kind of just like every other hospital, they're kind of figuring it out as they go, Yeah. So
Capitol building, or is it like, does she have to deal with that shit, like the protests or anything?
No, I don't think so. I mean, not at the hospital, but
they're not protesting the hospitals, right?
No, but Hartford's the capital, so I assume like the
no, Hartford Healthcare is just like it's like a company that buys up hospitals. You know what I mean? Oh, it's just like they're the owners of like a bunch of like hospitals, like independently owned hospitals are now getting bought by big hospitals. So, but yeah, she's I try to like Estee. I basically like if she wants to talk about it, I let her talk about it. Yeah. but I try not to ask her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to hear it either, to be honest,
Hey,
because
Mike,
I have everything.
Mike, can you do me a favor? Next time she goes in, can you ask her to get some smelling salt so that we can wake Noam up on the next podcast if we have to?
Yeah, totally.
Have you ever had a smelling salt, by the way? I'd had someone like.
What's a
They're-
smelling salt?
It's
insane.
just, I don't know. Something
Is
we
Is that
need to-
meth?
Apparently,
It's
Jay's
something-
roommate has to have one 4 times a day.
I'm trying to get this program to work.
Why is your name why is your
Korean.
name Korean?
I really can't tell you that, but I'm trying to get XSplit VCam to work, but I'd have to disconnect and reconnect again, and I'm not gonna do it. But I downloaded it. It looks
Oh,
pretty
you
cool.
really like it, huh? You really like you like it a lot.
Oh, it's very impressive.
It's called Split, and it's funny you bring that up, Noam, because David Spade had it on his show when he was doing the thing. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's that. And I looked all over, high and low. I thought it was an app on my iPhone or some shit you could do. I couldn't find it. And I'm like, that's famous people shit. They won't give that to regular people.
Yeah.
And
I
now,
thought so.
Emma, I know that either you're a regular person or you're about to be really famous.
It didn't help me. I did a Zoom audition for an acting class, and I didn't get into the acting class. I had the computer open and I did the audition, and I didn't prep for it the way I should have, because it was just to get into the class. So I was like, oh, this is a shoo-in. And I did not get into the class. And so I just closed. He said, you got to do these other things. So I just closed the laptop to get out of it. I was like, thank you so much. Closed it. But
I think it's important that if you're gonna do this, it's important you need a good look. Like I like this look that I have right now.
that looks
would
cool.
work, right?
That looks good. Yeah.
You-
It's
you
good
look like
because
an
you
overnight-
remember it in a second. That's the thing. It's not just like you have to view it on a few different angles, but like to have something that's very distinct. Oh, without even seeing who it is, you know who it is.
right.
I think you have to look good, but more important, you have to sounding good.
This sounds good, right?
Yeah,
Sounds
like
good.
that. Actually, stay like that. That's so perfect. Look, just
Noam
a
looks
little
like
further in.
Noam
Just
looks
your
like he's
forehead.
about to introduce a Duran Duran video on MTV at like 2 in the morning.
I'm like Max
89.
Headroom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, poor Jay. Jay looks like she has the hostage look like a lot of people have with the tied curtain and a knot. Like she's
Right.
listen, I love
These are
Jay.
so
and I-
holes
and I
in the
tell-
screens, though.
Jay is not very assertive sometimes, and she has some sort of insecurity that I don't know. I mean, that's
Yeah,
not
it's not-
warranted. And I can just tell the anxiety that she's like and I always feel bad because I we talked about that.
Do you think bringing it out in the open like this is making it better, you psycho? What is wrong with you, Noam? You have the
I don't think
social
she minds
skills.
it. Do you mind that I said we can cut it out?
No.
You don't mind.
Yes,
No,
it's
not at all.
not going to make her more comfortable that you told everybody she's has problems.
Erotic.
But that's relatable. I relate to that.
It's
I totally get it. I relate to that 100%.
Jay McBride, let me tell you something. I met her in Albany before any of you people, and
I met her in Albany too.
I met her in Albany too.
I met her before all of you.
When'd you meet
Listen,
her?
I met her at the radio station. She worked at a college radio station for nothing with the guy Wolf,
A Catholic.
Okay, yeah, you
radio
met her
station.
before me.
Catholic.
College radio station. It was insane.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You went to Catholic college?
No.
Oh,
No,
I
she
was
was-
even
just doing the
enrolled.
radio?
They just asked me to. Someone wanted to do a comedy show. They asked me to be one of the people on it, and I'm like, yeah, sure. So it's an hour on Friday, but
Yeah.
what we did, we would interview people who were performing that night at the Comedy Works.
Did they
And
know
then
that you weren't really Catholic?
Hmm.
I was raised Catholic, yeah, but
Yeah.
that sort of went away.
Aren't we all?
Did
That went away around the second surgery.
Right.
I can't.
We did the
That's what it took.
circumcision reduction.
Circumcision.
It wasn't quite good enough. I had to redo it.
I'm gonna say I had one of those too.
Why not?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
It was always so fun coming up to Albany and working that club because you guys had such a good crew of like local comics that were really
Oh,
like
That room was amazing, and then that
fell
It
apart.
closed down Comedy Works?
that closed down. And then
It was an
the
old
Saratoga-
pancake house, right?
I don't know what it was.
It was like
I think
it was like an old Mexican restaurant or a
it
pancake
was like a
house.
Chinese restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, something
and
like
then
that.
There was like a buffet, and then they closed. So it's like, and then there's a basement, there's a top floor, so you do two different shows at the same time. It was pretty cool for all.
That was a really cool
that room always like was one of my bad hotel stories.
Oh,
where, like,
I've been
'cause they
there.
put me at the Red Carpet Inn right next
Oh,
door,
wait,
and
oh.
it's a bad hotel when you get an actual metal key.
Yeah,
It looks like a door, like you're opening a door in the house,
yeah.
That
And
was a
you,
great
like,
room.
You park
was
at the
getting,
front
like,
door.
There
Well,
were
that-
cigarette burns on the carpet or on the.
Oh.
I
on the
love
bed.
that room, and he always, I don't know if he paid me in cash both times I did it.
Yeah.
You know, it's that Billy Burr calls those serial killer buffets.
Yeah.
That's where
It is,
the
dude.
serial killer just parks out in front. I'm gonna have her. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna.
The green room had the 2 times I did it, the green room had like there was water all over the floor in the green room. They had some kind of pipe problem. I don't know if that was like a permanent thing they had, but the 2 times I was there was like a pipe burst.
You're really writing one hell of a Yelp
Yeah,
review
but I
for
loved
this
it.
club.
I
You're like,
loved it.
I got paid in cash and the rug was wet, but otherwise.
I remember the first time I worked for Tommy, who I love Tommy, and he
I love
always said
Tommy, too.
he's always working hard for comics to have rooms, and especially gave a lot of local Albany people a lot of he really cultivates the local talent. But I remember when the first time I worked for him, I checked in the hotel with my family, with my wife. I think we just had the baby, and there was a folding table, like a poker table. And I go, I'm not staying with I call him up. I go, I'm checking in a crowd. This is a trick Colin Quinn taught me. Just check out, go to the better hotel and say, I'll pay for it. Fuck you.
Yep.
And they'll always wind up paying for it. And
Because they don't want you to go
bet.
back and tell everybody how shitty they treated you.
And
But also, I think I had a deal because it was right next door. I think the only people that liked it were the ones who could get drunk during their set and then just stumble over next door so they didn't have to take a cab.
I was in the room with my wife. We had 2 single beds, like 2 little kid beds. And the phone rang like 3 or 4 times. And every time I picked it up, they would hang up. So I called the front desk and I go, why do you keep calling me? And he goes, I'm not calling you. I'm like, well, my phone's ringing. And he's like, oh, everybody has these numbers. He's like, people live at this hotel for like months, weeks. I sat up with a lamp in my hands, just like facing the door to protect my wife. I'm like, you go to sleep. I'll take this shift. That was the first night, but we checked out Bobby too. The next night we went to
there's like a better hotel across the street.
right across the
$20 more
street.
dollars.
I
It
know.
was $20 more dollars. It was like a fucking luxury hotel.
God, road
Estee, are
hotels.
you watching comedy? Have you been watching comedy over the break?
Not really. Here and there, but no, not really. No.
Estee
Yeah, I was
hates
wondering
comedy.
about that.
I find right now whatever they're putting on, it's not really very good,
Mm.
and so I don't want to swallow the bitter pill.
Yeah.
Right. I
I mean,
actually haven't watched it. I was
Everybody
thinking
thinks
about
that
it.
they have- What?
I was looking at you, was making me think about it, but I haven't really watched any stand up in about a month, I guess, which is crazy.
I mean, with most of our guys, I know the routines anyway,
Right.
but a lot of people are just doing the homemade movies right now and, trying to be uber funny, and it's not.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm trying, Estee. I mean, I don't have much to work.
I'm
with.
not
Growing a
talking
beard and
about
everything.
I don't talk.
I have anxiety.
Sam Morril videos are hilarious. I mean,
Oh yeah, with his mom, those are funny.
and with Taylor.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Those are very well done too. Like they got a good
Yeah,
editor with that.
so that's fun. But to
Yeah.
just watch stand up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Noam, can I ask you a question? Business owner in New York, what are we looking at here, man? What are we?
What?
What's
The apocalypse.
What's like the? Do you like ever hear from the city about anything, or do you like? What's that like right now? It's just all on hold still, huh?
Yeah, it's it's all on hold, and this loan money is looks like it's not going to be very helpful, because to have the money forgiven, you have to spend it by June 30th, and you have 8 weeks suspended, and who knows if we'll even be allowed to be open by June 30th. So,
Right.
and maybe they'll change the rules, but as it looks now, it's not going to be that helpful. And then there's another problem that I'm worried about a little bit, which is that right now people are making $1,100 a week unemployment, and I'm afraid people aren't going to come back to work. Why are they going to want to come back to work and risk getting sick when they can sit home and safely and make a little bit less, a little bit more than they're making at the club.
Right.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's, I don't know. That's
Well, the risk of getting sick is valid, but most people rather work than just sit home and
I
collect.
wouldn't. I wouldn't want to.
Especially because the unemployment will run out after, what is it, like, oh, I don't know, maybe this is a whole new thing, so maybe
This is
they'll
a whole
keep
new
extending
thing.
it.
What are they
Yeah.
Are they extending it? No.
And the thing is, I mean, there's some harshness. Like, I think when you collect unemployment, you have to say that you're not looking for work or you have no work. So conceivably, if I said to unemployment, no, this person, we have a job for this person, that
Right.
person could lose their benefits. But I can't do that. I'm not gonna. If someone feels that it's not safe to work, imagine what a prick I'd be to try to pull the rug out from under them. So
Right.
Listen, the unemployment is good for like what, 13 weeks or no, 13,000. Yeah, they extended to 13 weeks, so it's not indefinite. And if you open in a month or two,
I mean,
then-
that's just an aside. I mean, if there's business, then I'll be fine. But I just really feel like there's not going to be much business for a while.
Are they going to open you up in stages? Because I talked to my agent today, and they say these clubs that are going to start opening up are going to do stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, where it's like this many people, that many people, that many people until they're at full capacity.
that'll be logical.
Mhm.
You know?
But that's
You know,
also going to affect our pay, because I was
Yeah, sold out room.
Well, you can't. They're
Damn
gonna,
right, Robert.
They
You gotta
might.
start selling those books, Bob. You gotta get those books cranking.
I mean-
How to watch your man. Advice for young
telling
women
you,
to catch a
it's-
cheater.
If you're
Yeah,
if
you
like
need
if
to
you're
leave the
used to
house.
making a certain amount of money or whatever, if your lifestyle is
Right.
that, and now you got to go back 10 years in your career, or not work. Your choice is you don't take the gigs, or you take the gigs and suck it up, and there's nothing you can do about it, because some of these clubs are like, we can't have more than this many people, and we can't pay you that. And it might be door deals. It might be, we're going to give you this and that's it. Or
you're talking about headliners clubs.
I'm talking about headliners. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I think.
No,
we
but
all are
I'm
in this
talking,
room.
let's say the Comedy Cellar. I can imagine when they reopen, they're gonna reopen the way they closed. In other words,
Right.
50% capacity type of thing.
Yeah.
And
But we'll all come back to the cellar. I mean, the money and whatever we have to do to keep the cellar moving, I think there's so many comics that will just get behind you for that. But
Of course.
there's also a living that we have to do. It's like
yeah,
I would have to go out, and it's like it's gonna be a weird situation when you go back.
I miss New York so much. Like, just the idea of like walking into the cellar and ordering food would be like, mwah. Just-
Yeah.
I
You know what I
But I
mean?
tell you, I wanted the
I
chicken
know.
cutlets and the olive tree salad so
chicken
bad the other night.
cutlet!
I woke up drooling thinking about it.
Yeah,
All right,
that
Noam-
would be like, that's something I miss, or getting like an iced coffee and then being like, oh, I'm at the Village Underground. I'm supposed to be over here. Like, ugh.
right.
I miss that.
I miss the
Yeah.
door guys.
Yeah.
I miss stupid Steve.
Yeah.
Is he
I
just outside of his place? Is he always outside Steve? Is Steve
Just
just
checking.
outside somewhere right now?
Yeah. No, where is Steve?
I speak to him every day. He's home.
Where
Oh, he's in New York. He didn't go to.
Yeah, he lives with he doesn't live with them anymore, but he lives in like in Harlem, I think.
Yeah, he used to live way uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though. I mean, I see New York clubs like, because the Cellar, I mean, it's the Olive Tree is a restaurant, right? So when restaurants open versus Beacon Theater or, some of these like, large rooms or like Caroline's or the Funny Bones in the mall,
Right.
like
Yeah.
the New York's going to open first and it's going to
Yeah.
open probably slower. And that'll be,
Well,
hopefully.
they're going to open up clubs now
No,
around the country.
What
Yeah.
with this
The
background?
graveyard.
That's Comedy Cellar opening night.
No.
Great.
All right, listen, on that note, we have to wrap it up because the Comedy Cellar tonight is doing a special Estee, do you know about it? I mean, Noam, can you explain it a little better than me?
No, I can't do any better than that, Robert.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not really sure. They're trying to use Zoom webinars, to provide some kind of audience to do stand up online, which, this is not in my mind, this is not a money-making plan. It's just, if it works, it could be fun. I mean, I have no idea, you know.
Is it they're using your YouTube channel, or they're using what are they using?
Liz and some people, Mustafa and this really smart guy named Omar, they apparently you can look into a Zoom chat window and you can see like 15 people looking at you.
It's not that. I did one because I did a college, and the college was canceled. It was in upstate New York, and then they said they'd switch it to Zoom and keep the rate. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. And I was prepared for it wasn't that bad, actually. You can see people. Yeah. You don't compare it to normal stand-up, but it was still fun. I hammed it up.
I just got asked today by my agent, would you be willing to do private shows?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I hammed it up. I pretended like I was just thinking. I was like, oh, since quarantine, it was kind of fun, actually.
I got props.
Someone asked me to do a show. I just sent a video. I sent them a 10-minute clip and was like, just play this. I don't want to talk to my computer.
You should book readings from Cheap.
Yeah, I think the only advantage of being live is that if you could talk about things that are timely about what's going on now,
right?
Yeah, it's like watching live sports. Otherwise, I don't see anybody, wanting to pay money to see comedian Zoom chat to them. Maybe
so much free stuff now too.
Like, who knows?
You're getting attacked by your dog too.
I think that people underestimate how much of the comedy club audience comes because they want to go out at night. They don't want to sit home and watch it on a Zoom chat. They want to go out to an evening out. They want to have drinks. They want to go on a date. They want to have fun. They, get out of the house, put your makeup on, all that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very skeptical of all these ideas.
Well, I feel like we'll be back up sooner than later, and we'll do whatever we have to do. And of course, the Cellar, Noam, all of us will be supporting you and the Comedy Cellar. We'll be back, and we'll do what we have to do to get the club back on its feet and get that money pouring back into your bank account as soon as we can.
That's all I want to do. No.
Listen, let's wrap this up because we have this other show.
Nice to see you guys.
Has potential. What's the name of your background again?
The app is called XV Cam Link Split.
XV Cam. Now everybody's gonna have it.
Hold on. Yeah.
X Split V
X Split V Cam.
X.
Mine is War Torn Serbia.
V Cam. Okay, great. And of course, Estee, thank you for coming in again. It's
good to see you.
Good for us to see you.
Great to see you guys.
And know that you're, it's almost like being at the table. Mike, love you, buddy.
I love you too, buddy.
Good to see you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Comedy Cellar Nightly. Wrap it up.